In Creative Cloud, there are two versions of Lightroom. One is called Lightroom and the other is called Lightroom Classic. The difference between these two is that the program called Lightroom is a cloud-based photo service, which means that your photographs are uploaded to Adobe's Creative Cloud storage, where they can be accessible to other devices that you may have, such as your smartphone or tablet. Lightroom is available on those platforms as well, so if you value the ability to work on your photos and edit across devices, Lightroom is a good choice for that. However, there is an issue with it in terms of storage. When you run out of your free storage that is provided through the Creative Cloud agreement, you will have to purchase additional storage. And the other option is called Lightroom Classic, and this one is focused around your own storage. You store all your pictures on either your computer or an external drive, which I always recommend. And you're not dependent upon available cloud storage. The drawback, of course, is that those pictures are not easily accessible on other devices since they're not synced through the cloud. But I use Lightroom Classic for all of my photography, and I keep all my photos in there on an external drive. So that's what this workflow is going to demonstrate. So I'm opening Lightroom Classic. And once I get into the interface, this is how Lightroom Classic is going to look like. If you use the other Lightroom, it may look a little bit different on your screen. Let me explain just a couple of interface elements here. Along the top of your screen, we have the workspaces. This is now something that we should be familiar with from Creative Cloud. The two workspaces that we're going to work with today is Library and the Develop. So those two workspaces are what we're going to work with. Over on the left side of the screen is the device view, and here you can see your storage, your hard drives that are connected to your computer, and folder structures inside of those, and there is a preview mode as well. In the center of the screen is where the photographs will be displayed, and this is where you're going to see edits on the photographs once you get to the Develop module. On the far right of the screen is the Properties panel, and this is where you have information about the programs and also sliders to adjust the development of those photographs. And finally, along the bottom of your screen, there will be a list of the photographs in the particular folder or role that you're working on. So the first step in this process now is I've inserted my SD card and I'm going to click on Import to start the process of importing photographs. So once I'm in my Import module, I need to select the source. And the source is the SD card that I have inserted. And once I click that, I will see thumbnails of all the pictures in this particular role. And I can now select where I want to put them. If I look over to the right-hand side, I will see that the default, it will put them in a folder called Pictures on my desktop. However, I do not want to clutter my hard drive with a lot of photos, especially if you have a camera that can resolve a lot of megapixels. These files can be really, really big. So again, I always recommend that you use an external hard drive. So I have an external hard drive here. So now I'm going to select where I want to put them. And I have a folder called Photography. What Lightroom is going to do is going to organize these pictures as they get imported according to the year and time and date that they were taken. So they're going to end up in this subfolder here named 2020. So now that I have selected my source and my destination, I can go ahead and click Import to bring all these photographs into Lightroom. While Lightroom is importing the photographs, I want to mention that one great thing about Lightroom is that it is a non-destructive editing environment. What that means is that any changes that you apply, any filters that you use, any sliders that you change, they're not written back to the file. Instead, they're stored as instructions to be executed on the file when you save it. And this means that if you make a mistake or if you change your mind about a certain edit, you can always go back and change the setting from the original photograph. So now Lightroom is importing the photographs and building previews. And these are the previews that we're looking at. And we can already start to take a look at the pictures. If I double click on this, the picture will open up in a full view in the center of the screen, so I can take a close look. And I can zoom in to get a better look at the detail.